Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Not quite sure what this was about, but today we have got rain, autumn, which is absolutely exciting, and very, very dark clouds. Now, the contrast between the blues and them autumn colours, that is going to be exceptional. And that is what I'm going to be searching for today, that contrast between the dark colours and them oranges. I am in the North Yorkshire Dales, sort of Cleveland Dales, so right at the very edge of the North Yorkshire Dales. So yeah, no Scotland, unfortunately, and there isn't going to be any Scotland for a while, but where I am moving to is super exciting, but I'm not going to share that yet. You'll have to wait and see, but should be a good day, as long as it's not too wet to be able to film. That is. It's looking pretty wet. One of the things that is great about this area compared to Scotland, you can see for miles, so you can see weather systems moving towards you. You can look at rain on the horizon, you can get that long lens out and get some really interesting weather shots. The bad thing is though, you can see what's coming, and I am about to have a huge downpour arrive. So I think for now, I'm going to stay in the woods and see if I can get some autumnal tree photography until this weather system moves over the top, and then I will go to the top and see if I can get some interesting shots of them autumn colours with them dark blue skies, the contrast between the blues and the orange. Mwah! Right, time to get on with it. So I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, but this is the area I grew up in. This is where I gained my love for the outdoors and my passion that one day turned into this, photography. At the time, nah, you wouldn't have told me I'd ended up becoming a photographer. I'd have said, no way, that's boring, I'd be on the X Games doing fun things like that. But yeah, that never happened. Bit too much of a wuss. But photography gives enough adventure for me. But these three trees that you're about to see are absolutely beautiful, ancient beech trees that have been growing here for probably hundreds of years. Now, what I want to do with this composition is to be able to incorporate all three trees. And I've been having a little walk around, seeing if I can get either one really strong tree or work all three into a beautiful scene. And I think I've managed to get all three. But if you'd like to wait there, I'll head up. I'll see you up there. So this is the scene that has caught my attention. I've sat pretty far off camera. I hope I'm on screen. If not, I do apologise. You'll just have to listen to my voice. But I've got some beautiful, huge beech trees behind me. Like I said, I wanted to incorporate all three. What you're looking at now is the very basics of what I'm going to photograph. I'm going to shoot very low down to the ground, just like you are right now. I'm going to focus stack across the floor, so I have all the leaves perfectly sharp. I'm going to use my 15 to 30mm on 15mm, ultra wide, and I'm going to use the trees on the right and on the left to frame that one in the background. So there's the immediate foreground, zooming in through until I get to that back tree, and it's going to be absolutely beautiful. And then after I focus stack that, what I'm going to do then is I'm going to move up through the trees and look at this branch that's starting to come out in the top right, and it's heading over towards the left. That is going to be really important as a leading line. I'm going to pan all the way up until I get to right at the tops of the trees. There we are. And then this will be my final shot. Just like that. So there we are, I captured that image and I think it looked pretty good. I'm not sure if it compared much to that image that I captured in Scotland with the mossy rocks and the light and all that beautifulness, but I'm still very happy with what I got here. And these 3 trees, like I said, they are special to me. I spent a lot of time here as a child. There used to be a tarsi up on one of the branches, and yep, I've definitely seen people fall off it. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to head a little bit higher and see what else we can find. See if we can find any other magic, majestic trees. These 3, tick. Absolutely beautiful. Right, time to see what else we can find. Stop raining. Win. Still a beautiful evening though. And you never know. May even get a sunset. Slim, but you never know. So I've just made it up to a point that I was wanting to get to, and this is pleasantly named the Elephant Hole. I don't know why, whether they used to march elephants up here and keep them in this hole. But it's a pretty big, deep hole left over from the mining industry that used to be here. And the shots that I have come to get is just over there. But unfortunately it looks like all the leaves have blown off. But I'm still going to go across and have a look, because you never know. You never know. So it's worth the look. And that's what I'm going to do. Also, Roseberry Topping. A classic for all photographers from this area. That hill up there. Probably one of the only real featured hills of the northeast of England. But my God, this weather front moving in. Check this out. I hope that's not coming this way, because that looks miserable. So unfortunately, the tree that I have come to capture, the leaves have been blown off, which is unusual because it is an oak tree, and every other oak tree that I've been past hasn't even turned yellow yet. And this is it. Don't get me wrong, it's in a kind of a vulnerable space. But yeah, so that's definitely put a dampener on my plan, which is a shame. Also, I captured an image of this when I was a very, very young photographer, and it was amazing. At least I thought it was amazing. Coming back and looking at this scene now, with all of the experience and places I've been since, that is one of the perks of experiencing amazing locations. Places that you once thought were amazing suddenly become So I'm going to carry on wandering down this way and see if I can find anything else that sparks my imagination. I think I might have found something, but I need to be very quick because it all relies on this cloud formation, and I'll show you what I mean in a second. I'm going to put you down, get set up and capture it quick. So what I had this beautiful sweeping dark line, and it was almost connected by a cloud up here, and with a wide angle lens, I reckon with a bit of dodging and burning, I'd have been able to turn that into a huge big swoop leading into Roseberry Topping. You can kind of see what I was looking at. So I had this really dark band here, and it finished right on top of Roseberry, and it looked great. And I was gonna dodge and burn it so it looked like a huge big swirl above Roseberry being the prominent feature. It would have been nice if Roseberry had had some light on it, but again, you can't have it all. So what I'm hoping is going to happen is I'm going to get another dark patch here, and then if I do, I'm laughing. I've got my big swoop, my dramatic sky, and my mountain. And then if I lighten up my exposure, the foreground's a bit dull, so I'll probably keep that quite dark and make it quite muted next to the sky. So I'm going to be bracketing this, but of my own accord. So first of all, 1/20th of a second, f11, ISO 100. Fire that off. And that is a super dark and dramatic sky. And now I'm going to raise the exposure, but I don't want everything to be super bright in the bottom. I want it still to be pretty dark and foreboding. So I've gone for 1/8 of a second, f11, ISO 100. Fire that off, and don't get me wrong, it would be amazing if I got some light on the mountain. It would just pull this image together. But this image isn't about the mountain. It's about the shape of the mountain and how it is playing with the clouds above. But mainly, it's all about the clouds above, because that is, at the end of the day, what I focused on. And the reason why I've made that so important is because the light is so flat everywhere else. If I tried to focus on the mountain, it would look boring. But with the moody, dramatic skies above, it works. And it works really, really well. So fingers crossed, this image looks good. If it doesn't, life goes on. But I've got faith. So I waited there for a couple of minutes, and don't get me wrong, the storm clouds still looked good, but yeah, it didn't come back. That epicness did not come back. My GoPro batteries are all dead. I hadn't charged them in a while, and they're not official GoPro batteries, so i.e. terrible. And yeah, I'm not convinced about the rest. So I may capture some more images while I'm out. I think I'm gonna finish the vlog here. Now, this area is no Scotland, and that is the thing that I'm struggling with most, because I'm so used to epic mountains, epic light, and the most beautiful scenery. Coming back to the northeast of England, yeah, it's okay, it's nice. There's definitely worse places to be, but I'm really struggling. Really finding it difficult. But I think that's because I've been so spoilt. So my thought for this weekend is to go out, challenge yourself, even when you don't find the area epic, and you look at all these vloggers that are in these most amazing locations. Look at the sky, look at the clouds, look at the shapes, see if you can make something from that. But other than that, have a lovely weekend. Hopefully one of these images has turned out okay. And yeah, I'm not that blown away by them. I'm not. Hopefully you enjoy them more. Fingers crossed. But that's all from me. Have a lovely weekend, and yeah, peace out.